Evening, everyone. TMA Matchday preview with myself and Sir Dunk. You're right, mate. Right, okay. So this is the big one. Watford versus the Scum. I'm not gonna swear, so I won't say the L word. Let's get all your opinions through for the game, predictions, lineups, anything else you want to talk about, derby related. Massive game. Just a big shout as always to the TMA Former Players Club. We are honoured and privileged to be in association with them. So Dunk, big shout out to Morn for he's already on as well. Cheers, mate. That's on Twitch. Cheers, fella. Dunk. We've been talking about this before we went live, but I mean, massive game, innit?
I mean, it is for every Watford fan. I was there for the one earlier in the season, which wasn't great to be at, I'll be honest. Losing 3-0 in their backyard is never fun. Quite literally going over that little bridge to the away stand. But yeah, hopefully, it looks like injury-wise, we haven't got anything new to worry about, which is nice. We've got Bio back, which, depending on your point of view, maybe is or is not a good thing. So, do you want to start with the importance of the game? Do you want to start with lineups? What do you think, Pidge? What would you like to start with?
We can start with lineups. Actually, big shout to Lucy. Say hello, ladies. Whole evening, guys. Win at all costs, nothing else. Absolutely, mate. We start with the lineups if you want. I wouldn't change much apart from I think he may put Pollock in. Personally, I wouldn't change a winning team, but I think he may bring Pollock in for maybe Kevin. What do you reckon, mate?
Well, in the last two games, both against Sheffield United and Plymouth, Luton have gone for a much more direct style. So I'd actually go for a back three. I've been really umming because they say you don't want to change shape, you don't want to change too much against how you potentially want to play. But given our defensive frailties and our notorious first 15 minutes so poor, I think I go for a back three and just make sure the first 15 minutes we don't concede. Then after that, we normally get into the games after. Because Kevin and Abankwah were superb against Middlesbrough. They were absolutely imperious and brought out a lot of qualities we've missed. But it's also difficult to justify dropping Matty Pollock, who's also been great for us this season as well. So given those two factors, I think I go for a back three, make our back line as strong as it can, have Larouche on left wing back, and I think I go in Ngakia right wing back, which I'm still not sure about, but I think he offers more rounded play than Andrews, who's got very little defensive nous, whereas Ngakia does normally have some. So I go for your back three there. There's your wing backs. Midfield's quite easy. Loser and Delibashiru. That's nice and straightforward. Up front, Pidge, Bio or Doumbia for your central striker? I'd go Doumbia as well.
Mainly for pace more than anything. I think we seem to offer more going forward when we've got Doumbia playing.
I think Doumbia has shown a lot of technical quality when he's taking down the ball with his chest and head, actually. And he's shown a lot more. He's raw. You can see the inexperience, but you can also see he's got the talent. He's got the mentality. He chases 50-50s. And I think that's something which Bio has lacked at times this season. So I'm with you. I'd go Doumbia up front.
Yeah.
Right wing, you've got left wing Chakvetadze. That's locked down. So right wing, you've got Sissoko, who's played there too. I'd say decent effect recently. But he's had an injury dealt with a tight hamstring. So the obvious one, would you put Vata there or Kayembe? Do you want to have more physicality or someone who's got more pace behind?
Yeah, exactly. Just before you say it, bunker is open. The bunker is open from Saturday. Wish I stayed down. Yeah, but it'll be open tomorrow at about 10 a.m. That's from Roy himself. 10 a.m. and the alcohol from 10:30 a.m. as well. So yeah, it's me mum. Right. Yeah, so that's the confirmation. It's at 10 o'clock. It's open and then 10:30. The beers will be flowing. Yeah, to answer your question, mate, 100 physicality, you put Kiembe in there, but to really frighten them from the off, you put Vata to run at them. But then you can also start Kiembe, and for the second half or the last half an hour, you chuck Vata on to run at them. You know, if things are going well, I still chuck him on anyway. But yeah, I think he may start Kiembe. Personally, attacking wise, I would personally, if I was picking it, I would start Vata. But let's see what it does. I still think he'll play Bio. I don't want Bio. I want I don't want him. I want Dumbia up front, but I think I can see him playing Bio. Kusic saying, I'll tell you now, we'll be lucky to get away with a draw. 2 wins in 12 with piss poor performances, says so. That's from Mr. Kusak, the number one fan of Backman. Evening, guys. Bio last 20 minutes. What do you reckon, mate? Do you reckon that'll be the one? Last 20 minutes, chuck him on?
That's what I'd like to do. Have Dumbia on and then swap for Bio. But I think Cleverley will go for the other way around. I think he'll start Bio and bring on Dumbia for the last 20, unfortunately. So I think that's how it'll probably shake down on the day. I think Cleverley will go for Bio. I think it's someone he'll think he'll trust more, despite my own misgivings about Bio's effectiveness last couple of months.
Yeah,
I think that he'll trust Bio's physics. Because Bio is quite big. He has played in this type of game before. He's more of a known quantity to Cleverley. So I think on that basis, he'll probably go for Bio up front, and that's how I'm seeing it, really.
Yeah, that's how I'm looking at it. Yeah, I reckon that's what he'll probably do, and I think he'll start Kiembe as well. He's also come out and said that, you know, a winning team doesn't have to be stuck with the next game. You know, he's an advocate of that. You know, he can occasionally tweak it, but if we're not going to play a back three, which you said, which I can see your point with that, then I would keep the same side. But yeah, I certainly wouldn't complain if we were playing that back three. If we did play the back three, it would obviously be the two that started last game with Pollock. But our keeper, I'll tell you what though, one thing I would say, we look so much more relaxed at the back with that keeper there than Backman. I don't want to hate on Backman, but I think, yeah, he's looking a very good keeper, that one as well. I think we've got.
Yeah.
Is he's definitely permanent, isn't he?
No, he's permanent. Absolutely, yeah, he's permanent on a
3.5 years, isn't it?
Yeah, something like that. No, he's permanent. A bank was a loan. I hope we can get that next season based on what I've seen. I really do. But
yes,
a bank
100%.
at the moment, as is Larucci. I don't think we've got too many other loanees actually in the team at the moment outside of that. Got Larucci, a bank were. We thought, what was his name? Tikvich was a loan, but he was actually a permanent, which they never announced. And then Ebisele obviously got sold to Turkey. So actually, we don't have many loanees left in the team now.
Exactly. I'm just looking at their team, and considering they're a team, I'll tell you what, there was one, what was it? HITC Sevens was going on about what the hell's gone on with Luton. They were going about, sorry to swear there, going on about the meteoric rise and then suddenly the fall. I don't want to set us up, touch wood, you know, I'm not predicting anything now, but you look at a team that just got relegated. They didn't spend much in the transfer window, and I think if you watch that HITC Sevens video as well, they were saying that they missed a lot of targets. They had a hell of a lot of injuries from a team that was super fit. This is giving credit where you always know that team to be super fit and, you know, really tight at the back, to a team like this season has been totally different to what we played a couple of seasons ago. Okay, we beat them 4-0, but on average, they were, you know, mostly super fit side and tight at the back. Everything so far at the moment, so far this season, they've not been. But it's a hard one because, look, I said this before and people were going, oh, well, we've had a good performance last game. We're going into it with confidence. I'll flash that up in a minute as well, mate. It's nice going into games with confidence, but remember, we got spanked at Millwall away and then played Luton when they were flying, and we absolutely destroyed them. So it can happen.
Hmm.
Form doesn't always go into account. It's nice going into a derby with a win, especially away at a good team like Borough. But it's not the be all and end all, and it's basically whoever wants it more on the day. I think that's how it's always going to go down to that. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember earlier in the season when we played Luton. I think it was quite a similar story. I don't think we were in fantastic form, but we were doing decently, and Luton were again struggling. They said in that game we got blown out the water. Form is really not something you can rely on for a derby.
No, 100%.
And this is just what you're seeing there. Just what we were talking about earlier. This was the lineup I was thinking, which we talked about earlier, and this is what I think we'll see tomorrow. So, is there anyone in the chat think otherwise, or have their own thoughts on that? Just put it in the chat and we'll discuss it.
I think he may go with that, mate, because the way they set up as well, with two forwards, especially with Morris, they'll need to stick one or two on him as well, because he'll try and test them physically. I think they haven't really, Kevin and Abankwah haven't really come up with against many real traditional number nines, in the calibre of Morris, in terms of the way he can physically move about. I think they've got a couple of real strong centre forwards. Okay, they haven't scored many goals this season, but like we say, form is temporary. It doesn't really, it's irrelevant in the derbies. So we have to. I think it would make sense probably doing that back three. Selvik is a given anyway. We know he's gonna play. I'd be very surprised if either Kevin or Abankwah would not be starting, even if we did play a back four. Back four. Ngaka Larouci, you can't go anywhere else than losing Delabashira in centre. Both of them, I thought they've been really, really good recently. Loser's certainly getting back to the player that we signed 2 or 3 years ago as well. Dave, like you said, is a given. Kiembe, I think he'll probably start. I do think Bio's going to start, but I want Doumbia and Vata to start with Dave, purely because of the pace going forward, because their defence, okay, our defence isn't exactly watertight, but their defence is ropey, to say the least, and we need to go at them first thing. And one, don't concede first, because this is the problem we've had all season. We seem to panic at the start of the first 10, 20 minutes. We need to get an early goal, and they will shit themselves. We need to get a goal early against these lot, because the longer it stays 0-0, the longer they will get confident. And I do think we were talking about this before, mate, that there is Kev, I know, mate, but that's what I think will happen. Halsey said they go down again. Would an airport team be the first to be relegated in successive season from the Premier League? Sorry,
that was Sunderland a couple of years ago.
Yeah, that was. I think it's a different situation with them and the Scum, because the Scum, as much as I hate the club, they're pretty well run club. Sunderland was an absolute mess on and off the pitch, as you saw in the documentary. So you could see, I think they signed 13 players with combined transfer fee of 1.5 million at the start of that season. The whole place was a joke. I mean, okay, the Scum ain't exactly strengthened, but it's a better run club than Sunderland were when they went down. So you'd thought, by a million miles.
Because the thing is, I will say this: when they went up, it's no secret they ring-fenced a lot of their money into the infrastructure side, such as getting something which isn't Kenilworth Road, for example. Actually putting the money for that to one side, and there are a few bits behind the scenes you're not going to see now. But when we went up back in, was it 05-06 under Boothroyd? A lot of our money for that season went into the infrastructure, which years later helped keep us afloat. And they've taken a very similar path where they haven't gone out for the big transfer money, but instead put it behind the scenes.
Yeah, that's what, like I say, when I was watching HICC7's documentary about it today, obviously in part having a bit of a laugh about it as well. That's all right, Halsey, no worries, mate. You're having a bit of a chuckle as well, but similarity slightly with what we've had, and I agree with that. They spent on the infrastructure. Kabinski in goal is very good keeper. We've obviously, as begrudgingly as I said, we miss a Morris type player up front, a style, not Morris, but a style like that up front with the way Cleverly plays. Halsey saying a nervous 1-0 win. As long as we don't lose, a bare minimum, we don't lose. I always say 2-1 win every game. I'll stick by that. I think hopefully, I believe we'll probably go 2. If it goes well, it'll be 2 or 3 goals up, and they may get one near the end. But yeah, the nerves will certainly start to kick in tomorrow morning.
Start to kick in now.
Yeah. As we're talking about it now, it's starting to get a bit nervy now.
Just feels real now, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, there was less trepidation. There was a lot of worry going in about the result on the Tuesday after, obviously after the Millwall game, which you can actually say how far Pollock's come from that, because that wasn't his debut, and it was okay. Yeah, it was a shocking debut, but he's learnt from it, and he's arguably our best defender at the club. He's done fantastic since then. Rivich. We will discuss that tomorrow, 8 o'clock, by the way. Here we are. John Cena's on. It says, evening, you lovely lot. Cheers, mate. But yeah, look, what I've discussed, what I think we could be potentially worried about their ends, but what do they need to be worried about us? Because, there is plenty of positives to come from the Borough game. Coming into this, and look, if it all goes to plan and we play to our maximum, I can't see anything else than a Watford win. But like we've said, the Derby form means nothing, mate, does it?
No, exactly. So if you can bring up that team again, please, we can just run through where. So yeah, I think the obvious one is Chapman Tete. That's the obvious danger man for us, because we do have our criticism of him being a fantastic runner, but not always picking the final product. But what he does is, because he's so good on the ball and so dangerous at carrying it, they have to commit players to him, which opens up space on the pitch elsewhere. Obviously, on top of that, Loser has been in top form for the last couple of months, despite our recent results. And he can open up play like few players can in this league. He's playing like a promotion level sort of midfielder. And I don't say that lightly, perhaps even more than Chak has been recently. Whilst Dele Bashiru, generally, he's quite good at getting out of the press. He's quite good at turning his man while under pressure and getting out. So I think our midfield should be able to handle some pressure from them quite well. Now, I think our backline, despite the recent results, they've looked to be turning a corner. Especially having the balance of a Banquer has really looked to stabilise our backline a lot, because now we've got some recovery pace in the side. When they get in behind, Pollock's one weakness is the fact he hasn't got much pace on him. Whereas you've got Kevin and a Banquer who both have pace to burn and really help balance that off, whilst both having decent defensive instincts. And as you touched on earlier, Selvik as well. He's such a calm goalkeeper. He doesn't look to get flustered quickly. And I think we touched this on Middlesbrough, where we said he doesn't gamble on shots. He doesn't go early. He waits for it, and because of that, he actually holds a lot of shots. He doesn't give up in the way of follow-ups, because he's holding shots a lot.
Yeah.
So, and as we saw, he can sweep more so than Batman, and more than even Bond was. So we do have to be very wary of Luton's strengths, but we also have our own. I think we perhaps don't fully appreciate. I think because we know our team so well, who's better, who's worse, that we almost get too down on them at times. Don't get me wrong, it's not the strongest team in the league by any stretch. It's not relegation level as we were talking about earlier in the year, but it's certainly enough to give any team trouble on the day. I like Sunderland, who are up there, and we gave them a torrid time for most of that game. Middlesbrough, until the final 20 minutes, we should have been 2-3 goals up there. We do have players who can hurt teams.
Exactly, mate. Hi, Premier Inn in Watford, waiting for our food. My daughter's first derby, brilliant. Melanie's bringing her daughter. Fantastic parenting from you, Melanie. Hope she has a fantastic time. I hope it's a win as well. Let's just pray for a win there and have a lovely evening at the Premier Inn as well, Melanie. Here we go. We have to be positive. This is to Cusack from Halsey. What being a fan of Watford is all about. There are highs, there are lows, like every other team. They are not an elite team. Yeah, absolutely. No, I was listening to what you were saying, Duncan. I completely agree. I think a lot of it is, well, it is a double-edged sword. I mean, we know how good some of these players are. I think the frustration comes with the fact that if they drop certain levels, we have a go at them, and it's not because we want to be overly critical of them. We just know how good they can be. Like exactly. the Daves, the Bars, the Vatters. We know what these guys, what their skills and their pace, what other attributes they've got. And it does frustrate us when they dip below a certain level. But I think to their credit, they've brought themselves up to that level where we expect a certain type of performance. But yeah, it's going to be good, mate. I'm just like I say, nerves are kicking in already, mate. It's getting nervy already. Yeah. But look. I mean, we looked before the 4 games, and obviously Luton being the 4th game, that a lot of people said we weren't going to get many points, and I can see a little bit of that argument. See their side of the argument coming into these games because we were on a poor run of form. But the only real we've got the Scum tomorrow, so that it's the 4 games are not finished yet. Leeds were a far better side than us, but we were poor in that game as well. But we know Leeds are destined to be definitely in the top 2 as far as I'm concerned. We should have got a win at Sunderland. We were very, very unlucky there. Borough deserved win in that game. Okay, we had a little bit of luck, but you need to have that away. We should have got at least 6 points out of these games. I said about 6 or 7. It's still on for that. The Sunderland result will look even better if we do manage to get a win tomorrow. Here we go. Let's have it tomorrow. It's for Moobs. No worries, mate. Worst striker in Watford's history. I'm going for Trevor Senior. That's from Mablethorpe Darts lad. Come on, let's get a quick cheeky one from that. Yeah, Trevor Senior, morally's pretty close as well. We've had some stinkers.
I can't go back that far. More recently, because I can't go back that far. Ooh, where do we start? I mean, Glenn Murray was very disappointing given what we were hoping to get at the time. Yeah. But I wouldn't say it was the worst. Ozan Tufan or...
Was Tufan a striker?
He was played as a striker for Hull, would you believe?
Oh, right, because I thought
he did play striker for Hull.
Well, the thing is, I didn't know if he was a football player either, let alone a striker. But yeah, have a look, mate, because I thought he was an attacking midfielder.
Javier Acuna. He was not good.
No.
I'm going to go Javier Acuna even more than Tufan, if memory serves.
Yeah, I'll go Trevor Senior. I mean, he scored goals everywhere else. He just couldn't score. He scored 1 goal for us. Yeah, him and Morley. But we've had some pretty bad. I mean, people had a go at Devon White years ago, but Connolly would say that a lot of his goals were down to White doing all the hard work for him. He's mainly a midfielder, but prefers selling kebabs. From Moobs, yeah, good point, mate. Good shout out there. Bloody fat bastard. No, not you, Moobs. I mean Tufan. That's shocking, mate. But you knew Tufan was going to score against us eventually, didn't you? I'm going 2-1. Like a big shout out as well once again to the bunker. 10 o'clock it opens tomorrow morning. 10:30 the alcohol will be served. So get yourself down there for the perfect start to your match day if you can. Big shout out to Ricky, Roy, and everyone. Fantastic people that have put the flags together and putting them out as well. You're all part of that. Big up as well. So absolutely fantastic effort of everyone down there. So if you can get down there, that'll be absolutely brilliant. Oh yeah, hang on, just forgot Nathan Ellington. Yes, Yeah,
Ooh,
for the
that's a
price tag and
strong
what he
shout.
did.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
more for the price tag than necessarily. That's not a bad shout, but I wouldn't put him as. Oh, that's a great shout. Hey ho, yeah, that's a great shout. The one from Forest. Are you talking that? Not Lewis McGugan. He was a midfielder.
What one from Forest? You mean Marlon King?
God, I'm drawing a blank on that one, Dave. If you
Well,
can
the thing is
clarify
that
that one.
the
Yeah.
Morley one, the Morley deal was we just sold Furlong and Dyer, and we bought Morley in for 425,000. And we got Jeff Pitcher for about 20 grand as part of that deal as well. And for the price tag back then, that was massive money for Watford back in 94. Massive money. So in terms of the price tag there, he was pretty bad as well. 2-2 draw for me. That's from Mr. Cusack. Niang. He had his moments. He did have many. He had his moments.
He had 2 games. I think it was Burnley
West
and
Brom.
Hull. I think it was.
West Brom, he played well in that game. Didn't he score
I
2?
took one game mixed up with. I thought it was Burnley, but I remember there were 2 games where he stood out. So
he's more of a winger.
So Niang, in terms of what we expected versus what we got, is a fair shout. Bit like Ellington, more than the actual end product in some ways, but not the worst.
I think the worst for the price tag, and this is going to be controversial, the worst for the actual price tag is probably Andre Gray.
Yeah, but again,
simply for the price tag.
His price was up to 80 million, but obviously we never got anywhere close to that.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say, again, not the worst, because like the FA Cup semi-final, for example, pivotal in that. Say what you like about him, for example.
Yeah. I did defend him on that point. I did say that little point, he did score a lot of important goals leading up to that FA Cup run. So that was the bit. But yeah, his sheer transfer fee was alone.
Yeah, I think it was more like 11, 12-ish, I think, more. Because I remember 18 was including all add-ons and that, which never got.
Goal bonus.
And the rest. But yeah, so...
touch of a trampoline.
What touch? You say that, the 2 goals against us for Plymouth were a fucking kick in the teeth, weren't they?
Yeah, but
they were really good finishes.
True, but consistently, in terms of his transfer fee, he never justified the transfer fee with consistency.
But I wouldn't
call it the
worst.
I'll tell you what the worst, one of the worst in recent memories of Rouge.
Yeah. Oh, Raho, that's a great shout. Yeah, he very much, even a Sombalonga at the same time, he's got a couple of goals.
Oh, 5 years ago, Sombalonga would have been absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I'm saying, but even then, he still got a couple of goals for us, even though he was underwhelming.
Yeah,
Araujo couldn't even do that. So actually, that's not a bad shout.
He was if you bought him from Timu. That's a Bolongo if you bought him from Timu.
Because remember, he came from Benfica on loan, but I think he since got released by Benfica, and where is he now? Aroca, he's now on loan at Aroca, and he's not pulling up trees there in... which division is that? Sorry, I'm trying to think. It's not...
Right, let's get some team news before we go as well. So it says obviously the usual suspects are still out. Bar they're expecting mid-March. Sorry, apologies, mid-March. I think Backman's more chance of getting back before that, but I don't think you'll see him this season. Now they're saying Duoma is progressing well as well. New signing Caleb Wiley. I totally forgot we signed him. I don't mean to be horrible. I reckon he's about 2 or 3 weeks away. And that's the American international.
It's easy to forget him because he hasn't featured.
I know. I forgot we even signed him.
So did I.
In positive news, Cleverly is pleased to see his attacking options strengthened with Bakun Bio's return after a 3-match suspension. He's glad his Bio's back. He said it gives us extra options in attacking areas, which we've lacked a little bit recently. I don't know if I agree with him there, but that's Cleverly. I'm 100% around Cleverly, but If Bayer comes on and scores against the Scum and wins us the game, then I'm going to big the guy up massively. Definitely, I'm going to be saying what amazing player, world class talent. Should be at least 50 million. I was an Army brat and moved to Bushy on the Army estate. Went to see the Orns versus Man United. Ewan Roberts, hooked ever since. 56 year. Well done, mate. Fantastic, Ewan Roberts. That's a blast from the past. He has to be the worst loan signing ever. That guy from Chelsea, Brazilian guy.
Yes. What was his name? God, I know exactly who you mean.
I'm trying to think.
Kennedy.
That's it.
Yeah, he was really underwhelming. That's a great shout.
Not Mr. Kennedy.
Not that one.
Mr. Kennedy.
That's a great shout. Forgot about him.
Yeah, he was during Walter Matsari's tenure.
Yeah.
I think he came on against West Brom, didn't he? Oh, he was crap.
Yeah, that's a great shout you won there.
Exactly, mate. Right, okay. So, go on in. Prediction. What do you reckon, mate? Because we're going to shoot off in a minute. What do you reckon? Prediction?
Pitch predictor 2-1. Watford.
Good man. It makes sense. But, yeah, like I said, once again, get down to the bunker, 10 o'clock, 10:30 beers. I'm going to sneak into the ground as quick as I can. I'll probably get there about 11. So I'll sneak in the thing. 4-0 to the Orns. Kennedy. That's from Mr. Halsey. 4-0 to the Orns. Yeah, absolutely. If we can get another one, cool. Any win will do, but if we can get a 4-0, that'd be absolutely amazing. Any final things, Dunk? Final things, mate?
I don't think that's too much to add on to what we said tonight. It's just we're all naturally a little bit sort of, as cleverly said himself, got some butterflies in the stomach for tonight because it's such a big game tomorrow. So we're going to do is support teams and come on you Orns.
Exactly, mate. No, brilliant. Right, see you tomorrow night. We will with TMA Sunday Night Live. You choose the topics. We will discuss them. That's at 8 p.m. We'll get all your thoughts from the Luton game, and we'll try and get throw a few comments out as well. So we see you there. Cheers, guys. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. Come on, you all. See you tomorrow night. Yeah, so see you tomorrow, 8 p.m. Massive shout out to Sir Dunk here for jumping on, mate. Thank you very much, mate.
No worries.